Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go ahead on and get started showing you what we're going to be doing today, what I'm going to be doing today. And this is a subscriber request, not more than just one subscriber request. And I had some emails asking me several questions. I'm going to be talking that to you. But first of all, let me tell you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some, I think they probably about a 1/4 inch center cut pork chop. And first of all, I had one young lady to email me and ask me about what type of bowl this was. And I told her, and then right after that I had a few more requests, emails asking what kind of bowl it was. And I don't think that I gotten back to all of them, but let me tell you, this here is just it's a marinating container, and I got it years ago at Walmart, probably about 15 years ago. I told the first lady this, and I don't know if they still carry it or not carry this container or not, but it's called a marinating bowl. You know, you cover it up, you put it in your refrigerator, then you can just turn it over. Once it's done set, maybe about 4 hours on one side, it's set maybe about, you turn it and to the opposite side, blue and white. But I just use it a lot of times to store my meat or hold my meat or whatever I'm going to use, and because I didn't marinate this pork chop. But okay, let me tell you, I got some pork chops here, and I think they're probably about a 1/4 inch thick center cut pork chops. And like I told the young ladies that was asking me the questions about the pork chops and stuff, it's very important that you use your own seasoning, whatever your preference is with the seasoning, because you could just, it's a whole range of seasoning that you can put on it, but use the seasoning according to your taste. So she asked me what did, get to give a baseline as to what I put on mine. When I put some type of seasoning, salt, seasoning oil, whatever kind you use, you can use that. And then I put black pepper and salt, and I also got some garlic salt on these chops. That's all I have on it. Some black pepper and this seasoning salt, and maybe about a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and that's it. Okay, now, and black pepper. Like I told her, I would tell her what how I season up my flour. Let me kind of move this out the way. Now let me tell you, now with mine's, because she had some little problems and I was helping her with it. But for my bread and flour and stuff that I use to do my pork chops and chickens or what have you, I always use self-rising flour. But you can use all-purpose flour. But all-purpose flour, I just like this is my preference, self-rising flour, so I'm going to tell you how I do it. But if you want to use all-purpose flour or either some other type of seasoning, go right ahead. But I use that all-purpose flour, and right here I probably got about 2.5 cups. And then I put the cornstarch in that. And with your self-rising flour, it already has salt and baking powder, whatever. But still, I put the cornstarch in here. This seems like it helps it brown better, whatever. I don't know. I don't know all that stuff. I'm not no scientist when it comes to cooking. And then I put just a little paprika in there to help. And that's mostly for the, I always like to how it make it look, the browning purpose of it. And I got some black pepper in here. And I got some of the seasoning all in here. I got garlic powder. And I believe that's all that I have in the flour. Like I say, probably 2.5 cups of flour according to how much meat you're trying to flour or coat or whatever. But these are some of the seasoning. You just put it in there, according to the amount of flour and stuff that you're cooking, because I'm only cooking maybe about I think it's about 5 pieces of the pork chops. So you're not gonna need a whole lot of flour to do that. And let me tell you something else I'm gonna do. I'm going to make a gravy. When I get finished frying the pork chop, I'm gonna make a gravy. But this is not the video for the ones that asked me to show them how to do smothered pork chop. And I have videos for smothered chicken and smothered pork chops. Everyone, I'm gonna get to them. But this is just the fried pork chop. I'm doing this, but I'm gonna have it. You know, this food we cooking. We got to use it for dinner or whatever. So I'm gonna have some rice, and the rice that I'm gonna use with it, I got a video up for it, the fluffy rice. But that's what kind of rice I'm gonna use. But I'm gonna show you how to make this a little gravy to go with it when I finish. Cause sometimes when we fry pork chops and stuff, my husband just wants some fries. He may not, I may not fix the gravy and stuff with it, or either maybe I have it like along with just the fried pork chop and maybe some macaroni and cheese and collards or something like that. Just according on how you're using it. And then with this gravy, I got maybe this is like a small onion I got over here. I'm gonna use in the gravy, and then with that gravy, I'm gonna use some of this flour that I already have here that I'm gonna be floured the pork chop in. I'm using the same flour to make the gravy. And don't come. I've been doing this for years and years. Don't come saying what y'all call it? Cross-contaminated and all that kind of stuff. Because let me tell you, when this heat and that hot grease get to it, if it was something that could hurt people down through the years, God destroyed it, killed it, and it's no problem. I told you with this cooking, you use safety, cleanliness, and all of that, but do not make too big a deal out of it. Especially with something that's going to go in that grease. Because when it goes in that hot grease, I feel this here. If it's anything in there to harm your body, that hot grease and God destroy it. So I got my grease heating up. Can you show them how much grease I got in my container? And I think the ones that sent me the email asking me this stuff and you're having problems, not really knowing how long to cook it, and sometimes your flour and stuff float off and all that. I hope that the way I'm showing you today that can help you with it. Just send me another email if it's anything else you don't understand once you actually see how I'm doing it. Because I figured I could show you better than I can tell you. Especially me, because I get twisted off. I have it in my head and it don't come out. But what that is you be trying to narrow it down in your head, because it's so much you need to tell them. And you be trying to narrow it down till you just seem like you just chopping it. So okay, I got my grease, my oil and stuff heating up. Let me see. I hope it ain't got too hot over here while with me talking. And I got that on a medium heat. And sometimes I cover when I'm frying pork chop. If I think it's a little thicker, then and it's not gonna be tender. Cause that was another question that the pork chop it be kind of hard. And let me see what was another. Why the pork chop be kind of hard? And let me tell you this. I almost forgot to tell you. And I was doing that for this purpose. I took my mallet. Did I put my mallet back up after I cleaned it? I took my mallet. I took that prickly side of that mallet, and I, beat my pork chop some. And you can use, if it's real thick, you can use the flat side. But that was just something I came up with just to help tenderize this pork chop. Because, pork is a protein, and sometimes it'll be hard and sometimes it don't. Usually I don't have too much trouble out of it, but don't fry it too high. You do not fry your pork chop too high, and probably fry it maybe about, I would say, I don't know this, but I'll say about 4 minutes on each side until it browns. And once it browns, then turn it over and let it fry about the same amount of time on the other side, and you shouldn't have any problem. Once you see what I'm doing with this pork chop, just drop me another email, and then if you have any questions in there, I can better explain it, because you probably can see what I'm doing and see what you're not doing, and I can help you better with that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I want you to understand. So if you want to send the email after I get finished, go right ahead on. Okay? Let me test this oil and see it's about ready. It's just about there. Let me see if there's anything else I can tell you guys while I'm kind of waiting on my oil. Y'all know my waiting on oil and water boiling. It takes a minute so I can get a little chit chat in. I wish I had some other questions I need to be answering why I got this little extra time. But I'm frying on a spot that I don't normally fry. I usually fry on my first burner, but and be to the side. But I'm thinking that this may be a better angle for my husband to get, and where you can see the frying of the pork chop and all that kind of stuff. And I tell you what else I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, when the pork chops start frying, I don't know if I'll wait till the first time to turn it, because I want to get a general idea how long it takes, so I can, next time somebody asks me that question, how long do I fry? That was kind of a tough question. I said, I don't really, I'm a kind of get a general idea as to how long it takes, so I will know the answer to that question the next time. So I'm gonna start firing some of the pork chop, because I think my oil is already, and just use your hands. Then you're gonna kind of shake off a lot of the excess. Do not overcrowd your skillet. If your skillet is only big enough to hold 2 pieces, just fry that 2 pieces, because if you overcrowd that skillet, and I told the one that she was saying that she couldn't get the bread and the flour and stuff to do right on it. I was like, maybe you overcrowding your skillet and it's doing a little bit more steaming than it is frying. I really don't know. I can just only assume the answer to that question. But I told you, like in the email I told you, maybe you didn't have your oil hot enough, or you overcrowding your skillet with your meats, and you're getting too much what you would call that, humidity in it before it get back up to the frying temperature. You don't want to have the grease too hot now. You gonna stay in the spot that you're staying in when I get ready to go with the skillet?
No, I'm gonna move over there.
Okay, let me see it. Is my grease hot? Here first. It's about to get there. And another, you remember I told you in the email, do not rush heating up that grease. You do not want to get that grease, that oil, too hot, but you want to get it hot enough. And this is what I'm telling you, just test it with a little flour to see how it's doing. And this is right at ready. Now wait till my husband get over here and get it all set up, and then I'm gonna go ahead on and drop the pork chop.
All right, go ahead.
You ready? Okay.
You stand over to the side now so I can see.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get this here off the other side, then I can get off the job.
Maybe.
This is so awkward frying this way. I hadn't fried. Normally I use as a, especially when my daughter was younger, I always used a fry dad and stuff to fry in. I hardly ever used a skillet. I did, and when I did, she wouldn't be at the house because I always be afraid that the way my stove made that she was gonna run in here and get to it. Now I'm gonna set my rice back out the way. And you want me over here? Huh?
Yes. No. Yeah.
I believe I can get 3 slices of it up in here. My grease could have been a little hotter. But that's okay. Go ahead on and put it in anyway. Got this little other smaller piece. They could fit right on up in there with it. You see how much oil I got over there in it? Okay, the way I do mine, I do not turn it. You know, you don't have to keep messing with it. Ooh, you scared me. I didn't know you had got over there. Well, make sure it's sitting right in this here skillet. But you just let it fry on this side until, you know, it's time to turn over. And then when it turns, you turn and let it fry about the same amount of time on that other side. This probably be about, altogether you'll probably fry it, I would say, anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, 6, 7, according to what size your pork chops is. So if you think you're getting it too hard, do not turn it. Just let it turn. Just keep frying there until it browns. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If you have some thicker chops, and it always makes your chicken or chops or whatever be moisture if you can put a lid over it. Put your cover over your skillet. That helps to tenderize it too. So, but you got to wait to put it on there at a certain point. Like right now, I wouldn't put my lid on there because that would probably make your coating come off. Your bread and the stuff come off your pork chop. Let it get a good fry going on, and then put your lid over it. I think I'm gonna fry this round without the lid over it, and then the other couple of chops I'm gonna let you see me fry, I'm gonna put the lid over it so that you can see what I'm talking about. But I wanted to get through these stages. I'm gonna let it fry just about a couple of more minutes, and then I'm gonna go off, and then probably come back on when it's time to turn it. But I'm gonna leave this pork chop just like it is until it's time to turn. Make sure you're getting it all in the straight and level in your skillet. That's all you need to do. It just make sure it's where it can fry evenly and the pieces ain't up on each other. And I tell you another thing I did. I always take and kind of, if the fat part that's around your chop, I kind of score that a little bit so it will stay flat while it's frying and won't curl up in the center. I know one lady was saying what to do when you pork chop in the middle of the chops and stuff won't fry good, don't fry well. And I told them just cut the fat on the side, and then sometime I put just a little cross in the center of it. But usually a lot of that sometimes is to do with what type of chops, what cut of chops that you have. Like those assorted chops, and she said that's what she had too. Those assorted chops will do that, because they usually have you about 2 or 3 good chops in there, and the rest of it is I don't know what to call it. It ain't. It's just assorted, like they say. You see how it's just coming on fried slowly. That's where I like my chops to be, and they usually turn out perfectly when I do that. I do not have that grease real high, starting out real high. Just let it come on, because I usually fry my chops on like a medium high. I should have got some of you guys to time that for me so I know the answer to that question in the future. I said, well, Lord, I had never thought about that. And then when I went to trying to estimate how long it takes, and I said, best thing for me to do is just fry some again, and then I have the time on it. Because let me talk to you guys. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. My camera cut off for a minute. My husband in a different spot over the stove, and I think too much heat got to it. So I didn't know if it was going to be where he could use it before we got it turned. So I'm going to have to go ahead on and get this pork chop turned. This is my first turning of the pork chop. So it can cook on the other side. Okay, and I had somebody ask me about bread and putting the batter and stuff on the pork chop. And I directed them to the one where I did the pork chop sandwich for the boneless pork chop sandwich for my husband. That's the only one I normally put a bread in on, because my husband really the one that really eats his pork chop. I don't eat it too much, but he don't like the he'll eat it, but he don't like breading on this pork. I mean, he don't like the batter and do all of that to it. So I just fix it like regular old-fashioned way that you fry pork chop. You don't think that thing gonna cut off again?
Keep going. You do it.
No, I was just saying that this I think it's all on my hand. Well, okay, I was just gonna let y'all see the first turning of the pork chop, and then I'll let you see it once it's finished frying, so we can I got to save the time on my battery so I can let my camera so I can show you everything I intend to show you. So I'll be back in a minute. You done turned it on?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back, and I think it's time for me to take the first batch of pork chops up. I'm gonna put it over here on my draining and drying rack. I always like to just hold it up there.
That looks delicious. Looks delicious.
Yeah, my husband he loved pork chop. And okay. Let's put the other in.
Get out the way so you can
I'm sorry, excuse me. You guys, when I put this on, I'm going to I'm gonna come back and show you when it get to the point for me to turn it, and then I'm gonna put a lid on these two pieces. I got another piece. I should have went ahead on the fry. I was trying to think of how I can shorten this process. Hold up behind me. Sorry about that. I think this is probably just only the second video with me showing you guys how to fry. I wasn't really just know how to do that frying thing. But okay. I'm going to show you that if I can hold it maybe for just about another minute or two frying, and then I'm going to go ahead on and put the lid on this. Well, showing you with me putting the lid on, I put it on all the time because and then I'll just come back and just show you. I'm gonna pour the oil off of it. The way I'm going to do the gravy, I'm going to pour this of the oil off of it, and all that there dripping and brining all in the, it's going to be left in the skillet. That's good for your gravy when you fix old-fashioned gravy. Now let me tell you something about this gravy. I'm just going to be using the flour, brining the flour, and some seasoning in it, and then water. Now if I was fixing chicken, and sometime when I'm fixing pork chop, if I'm having guests over, sometimes I may put a little chicken broth in it. But this is a special order for my husband, and he just like the old-fashioned dressing in there. And that's what I'm gonna be doing, showing y'all today how to do this. Oh, listen to me talking about dressing, y'all. They probably got about used to me saying one thing. I mean, I don't know, supposed to be saying one thing. Yeah, he liked the old-fashioned gravy, where we just fix it with the water instead of your chicken broth and all that. He like it all, but when I do that pork chop, and I don't be mad at him because I be mostly fixing for him. He'll say just fix the gravy with the water like you normally used to do. So let me look at it for a second. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna give it just about 1 more minute. And then I'm gonna put the lid on it. What that time is? And this is about the point. I'm gonna say it already that I'm fried a minute because the grease was hot. And I'm gonna give it 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna put the lid on it. And that's how, to the young lady that sent me that email, that's about how long you need to let it start frying before you put that lid on it. Don't put that lid on it immediately. She was saying she put a lid on it, but it looked like it, you know, it just didn't do right. But let it get up a good fry, and then go ahead on and put the lid on it. And that may not be the right word, a good fry. Get a reasonable amount of heat in there on that first side. Don't just put it on there when you just first put your chicken or your pork chops in there. Don't put the lid on there immediately. As I was telling you guys earlier, invest in you. If you don't have a timer on your stove, invest in you a timer. You younger cook. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead on and put the lid on it, and then I'll turn it, and then put the lid back on it when it once I do that first turn, and then let it finish up. It's probably gonna take approximately 5 or 6 minutes. But I'm not going to stay on camera to do that because I got to be considerate of my battery time. But I'll be back, and I'll probably be back when I get ready to turn the turn the, the pork chop with the lid on. And then after that, I'm not going to come back till I'm ready to mix the gravy up. Be right back. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I had turned the pork chops the first time with the lid on. This is it with the lid on. I had turned it the first time with the lid on, and I turned it after maybe about 4 minutes, about 4 minutes, and now I turned it on over on this second time, the second side, and I think it's about ready. I'm going to go ahead on and take it up. Because I don't want it to get too hard. Okay, I'm going to cut my stove off, and then I'm going to pour this hot grease up in a bowl till I can put it back in the container where I got it from, because I saved my oils. I have to get this up with a spoon. I don't want to act right. I mean with a fork. And then I'm going to, as soon as I get this here poured up, I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to do the dressing. Excuse me, you guys, the gravy. Do the gravy. Be right back. Okay, everybody, can you see the brown dripping and stuff that's left in this here skillet? That's going to help. That ain't nothing but goodness right there. That's going to help your gravy be really good and tasty. And so you do not want to remove that. And you see how much oil I left in there. That's probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons of just the oil left in there. But the first thing I do is put my onions over there in it. I had my stove cut down. It may not be hot enough right now. Turn it back up a little bit. You don't want to try to do this. It's just really just a roux. But you don't want to try to do this too fast now. I mean, not too fast, too high. But I'm going to turn this up a little bit more than what I got it. This one, the way I'm doing this here, I'm putting these onions and stuff up in there first. I do not, that's going to, kind of get them sauteed a little bit. Your gravy won't have to simmer so long after you do this. Because the onions will be about cooked. Because you're going to just let your gravy simmer long enough just for your onions to be cooked. I always kind of get my onions kind of fine. And then I just eyeball it, putting a little black pepper in there. My husband likes lots of black pepper. So I put that black pepper over there. I'm not gonna put any salt in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of season on, because that dripping, that bread from from those pork chops and everything, it had that, you know, I told you it was seasoned. I'm just gonna put a little of that over in there. Okay. Now this right here, what did I do with my spoon? Okay, you know, I told you I was gonna be using the flour from what I floured the pork chop in. I'm just gonna start sprinkling that out around there, getting it kind of evenly sprinkled in there. I would say this is anywhere from the amount that I'm gonna put in there, because the more you put, the thicker your gravy is gonna get. And I'm just gonna make up more gravy than what I'm gonna use, just to show you the process. I would say this is probably about a little better than a fourth of a cup, not quite a half. And then just get that all mixed up around there, you know, those sauteing onions and that pork chop dripping. Put it, and I got some water over here. Like I told you, now if you want to, if you're fixing something with beef, either chicken, go ahead on and put you a bouillon cube or something like that in there. That is more flavor. But by my husband being a man of a particular age, he like it the old-fashioned way. He like it all ways. I mean both ways. I'm not gonna say he don't, but you know, since he the one got to eat it. If I put chicken broth or something over there in it, he's not gonna complain about it. But he just really like it the old-fashioned way. And I'm just kind of stirring this and cooking off that cut it off. Just really, really getting the rawness out that flour, and just sort of letting its onions and stuff. I don't know how you guys fix your gravy, but I'm with my husband on this. Now, when I have my granddaughters and stuff down, and they love gravy, and they love the way I fix gravy, even if I just fix that brown gravy in the top. But what I always do, I put just maybe just a half a teaspoon of sugar off in the gravy, so that it can take away any kind of sharp edges and stuff from this brown and stuff in it. And they always say, Nana, I'll put some of the brown stuff on my rice. I said, the gravy, sweetie? Yes, they love it. And if you're making more, you would put more flour than what I put up in there. But I put just enough to kind of show you how to make some gravy if you want to serve it over with some rice, mashed potatoes and stuff. After you done fried to some pork chop, but you're not going to smother the gravy, smother the pork chop or the chicken. Now when I smother it, when I show you guys how I do my smothered chicken and stuff, I'll probably put more flour and stuff in it so I can make more gravy. When you try this way, you probably won't never try to go in there and pay in the store and pay $1 a pack for that little that little pack of gravy where you can fix it. Just do your flour and onions, and if you don't want to put onions in it, you don't have to. Just do that. Do what I did with the flour, eliminate the onions. But I say this is what I'll be kind of, when I do it up from the skillet like that, I'll be seeing just by how much that flour done cooked off, getting it kind of brown. The more you cook the flour off, the browner your gravy will be. Now when I'm doing chicken, I don't usually let it get as brown as I do if I'm frying pork chop or putting some gravy over a beef roast or something like that. It's just about ready, guys. I'm going to start adding my water over into it. I would say this is approximately how many minutes you think, Gary? I have to use my time. I don't, you know.
We're right at about 7 minutes.
I'm talking about, I'm working with the gravy about 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, probably about 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, so far.
I was trying to give them a general idea as to how long I'm fooling around with this roux and browning and this stuff, because these onions, I'm telling you, they about right there. So my husband said that was probably about 6 or 7 minutes before I now when I start adding this water, when I add this water to it, it's gonna be it's gonna start boiling pretty rapidly and everything, and I'm gonna get back over here and start stirring it. But see, you see how I sprinkled my flour, tried to get my flour just as evenly as I possibly could, so that my gravy and stuff won't be lumpy. And another thing, I'm telling you guys to put lukewarm water in there. And I'm doing it with lukewarm water. But now, if I was just doing it at the house, I would use a little hotter water. But I want you to see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to start going in with my water and watch how I do with my water and watch how I come over, how I'm going to get back over there and start rapidly stirring this in gravy so it start thickening up, and then I'll start adding more water, and I'll tell you what point to stop adding water to it. And see, I'm using a lot of water. Like I say, when you get ready to, this here's a delicious, inexpensive way to make your gravies for your meal. Okay, I'm going in with my water. Pouring that amount up in there. I probably could have poured all of it over in there. And then I'm just getting in there, just getting everything loosened up and stirred up. So when it starts like to boil, you won't probably have to worry about too many lumps. Turn my stove up a little bit, and then before I continue on with the rest of my water, I'm gonna see how thick it's getting. And I think, let me see. I'm looking at this and seeing that flour is pretty well spread it out and dissolved in there. All I got to do is cook it off. You'll see it start to thicken up. And then if you need more salt or whatever, black pepper you want to put in it, you can put it in at this time. I'm going to let it come to a pretty good boil. See how it's still kind of thick? And I'm going to let it get to a pretty good boil before I add me some more water in there to kind of thin it out so it can get to that there, to the right consistency and stuff. And it's cooking any kind of raw, like if you could just smell the aroma in my kitchen now.
Yes, sir, buddy. It's going to be some fine eating here.
Gary, this is so
get
crazy.
ready.
He loves my gravy with the rice and stuff. See, I'm making sure that I'm letting it get to the capacity with that thickness and stuff before I start adding a little bit more liquid to it to thin it out. Because I don't want to, I'm going to add, at this point, I want to add just as less liquid as possible so I can turn my burner down and let it cook. because it don't take long. Really and truly, when I got through browning that gravy like I was getting it ready, making the roux. Okay, I'm gonna go in with some more water. You don't want to have it too thick. That's the reason when you first start making this gravy, if you have never made gravy before, make a smaller batch until you get the what you would call that, the gist or the concept as to what you're doing or what you're trying to achieve. And if you watch this video, it'll give you a basic, a general idea as to how to make this gravy. That's when I wanted to take you through this step by step. At this point, you're going to turn your burner down to maybe like a medium low. And you know how you want your gravy over your rice. Hold on just a second. Let me get something to dip it up with. See what. Can you pass my paper towel, please? That's still a little thick. You don't want no runny dressing. I don't know why I keep saying dressing for. You don't want no runny gravy, and you don't want it too thick.
Looks like it's just about right there. Yeah.
I'm gonna put some more water in this and cook it down a little bit more, because I want to show them about the consistency of it before I get it to that simmering point. While I let it simmer. So you can make you. Ooh, I don't want to use that in my skillet, messing up my skillet. That's one thing you got to do, guys, when you got these here coated skillet and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what you call that, Teflon on it.
Teflon coated.
Use some plastic utensils in it, because this stuff is too expensive to be ruining your coating, your Teflon coating in there, because you know, I read somewhere once that stuff starts peeling and coming apart, peeling, I read, or that coating coming up, you know, I look at it like this here. I keeps my dishes a long time, and and I don't use metal stuff in it and all that, and when that coating start coming off, because I read somewhere where it might possibly cause Alzheimer's. I don't know. I'm always reading something. And I know my son said, oh, that mama go. Fixing to tell. I was like, it's time for you. If I can't get all that coating out of there, because my brother, he could get that coating out of there and still use that pot for frying and stuff. I put it aside. I said, well, because I got plenty of years out of it anyway, because I keep my cookware a long time, because I don't abuse it. Okay, you guys, that's really it. I'm cutting it down, and that is your old-fashioned gravy. Now I'm gonna cut that down on low and let it simmer for probably about 10 more minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's ready to go. I'm gonna put my cover over it too. But what I'm gonna do after I let it simmer that 10 minutes, I'm gonna come back and put some over some rice and show you guys what it looked like. So let me get my cover and put over it and let it simmer this 10 minutes, and I'll be right back so we can end the video. Okay, everybody, my demonstration for the fried pork chop is finished, and the gravy is finished. It's been simmering maybe about 15 minutes right now. And to the young lady that I was helping, starting her life as a new wife, and probably, if God's willing, a soon to be mother, I hope that this have helped you, and I feel grateful that you sent me the email to ask me these questions, because I do tell everybody, that they can always email me. If you don't want to put it in a comment, email me, and I can get my husband. He's good enough to come in there and help me do the emailing and get it sent back to you. I hope this can be a help to you. But if it's anything on here that I left out, I tried to cover it all. Just feel free to email me again, and I get you, and I'll try to help you as much as I possibly can. So I'm gonna get ready to end this video, you guys, and hit my normal spiel that I normally get twisted up on. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified whenever I'm uploading a new video, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment on any questions or whatever you want to say to me. Now I'm gonna let my husband, and then I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. But I'm not through yet. Okay, I'm gonna let my husband get over here a little closer, and I'm gonna show you the gravy. Ooh. I'm gonna show you the gravy. Let me set that over there. Sort of slow simmering, and I told you guys I cooked some of that fluffy rice. I got the which I told you I got the recipe up for the fluffy rice. Let me see if I can serve you up a dish.
You have a video up on the fluffy.
Yeah, I have a video up with the for the fluffy rice. This fluffy rice right here. And it's been cooked over here so long, waiting for me to finish. All it's got to do is be zapped in the microwave for a minute. But I'm gonna put you. I want to show you guys what the gravy looked like. You know how I always serve you up show my southern hospitality of serving you up a dish of my food, and if you was I ain't got no other spoon. If you was at my house, this would be the same way I would serve you. You would be more than welcome. And when I have you come, when I have someone planned to come over, I always try to fix plenty. And if you drop by my house, friends know that they can drop by my house if they need to without calling. Because you don't never know if you got family and friends that get on a crisis. You can't always call. But you're welcome. Like I told them, I don't keep nothing up under the sofas trying to hide stuff in the closet. If I know you're coming, it's gonna be clean up, and I'm gonna cook something for you. But if I don't know you're coming, I'm not gonna be pushing it on the sofa, in this closet or whatever. And then whatever I got in there and cooked and got to eat, to eat. If you want some, you're more than welcome to it. So this is for gravy. Let me get this off. Okay, you sure we get in the bowl so they can see it? Ooh, I got to stir it on. I've been had it sitting over here simmering a little higher than I thought it was. But I want to show you what the gravy and stuff look like. That is a perfect gravy. I'm going to put you a lots up here. My husband tell me I be putting too much on the plates when I be giving the serving. But I got one granddaughter like a lot. And the other girls, that's enough, Nana. Let me see, where's the thing to get the pork chop up? You done put it up? Did it? Got it out my way?
A fork right there.
A fork what?
Over there by the rice.
Over by the rice. just gonna put you a piece of pork chop on it. Show you what it looked like. Now my husband, you ain't got to fry your pork chop as hard as I do. My husband like his pork chop a little harder fried than most people. So that's well, I'm not gonna have cook it, but you just okay. This is it, you guys. That's the fried pork chop. That's the guest of honor. But I just showed you how I serve it over a little fluffy rice. Got the black pepper and everything in it, and you can go to eating. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.